So I just want to talk about money, excuse me, right quick, and what you need to do to get more of it, right? We all work and we got jobs, we got our businesses and everything, right? But we have not gotten to the point to where, we have critical mass when it comes to financial resources and money, right? We got some, even $1 million, that type of thing, right? But that ain't the type of money that you need, so you can, so you can have a financial freedom and financial independence. So the first thing you need to do is determine what you want, right? You got to determine what you want, right? And why you want that, right? And excuse me. Once you understand what it is that you want, right? And I suggest getting it on paper, okay? Understand what it is that you want, get it on paper, and then you need conviction, okay? You need conviction. If you don't have conviction, it ain't gonna happen, right? You might start investing, buying a stock, buying a commodity, or investing in houses or whatever, right? And you stop, okay? And you stop because your conviction is not strong enough. You know what you want, right? And you know why you're doing it. But you don't have that long-term, hard-nosed commitment to it, right? To stay the course. And so you might do it for a year or two or a couple of years or whatever, right? And then you stop, okay? And especially with stocks, right? And you stop and then what you realize is about 3 or 4 years later, right? 5 years later, you look at that same stock that you was investing in, and all of a sudden, right, it's trading at $100 a share. It's trading at $250 a share, right? And it wasn't that you didn't know what you was doing or you was wrong or anything like that. It's just that you didn't stay. You didn't have staying power with it, right? You stopped, right? So the key is, once you determine what it is that you want and you pull the trigger on it, right? Don't stop, right? Don't stop. And then the other thing is, of course, you got conviction, and then you need commitment, right? You need commitment to it. And I just kind of spoke about that. But you need commitment, right? And then the other element that you really need is you need to surround yourself around high quality people, right? You need to plug yourself into a network of people who believe like you, they think like you, and they've already done what you are trying to accomplish, or you're all doing it together. Okay, you're doing it all at the same time. You're working together. Each person is doing their own individual thing, but you guys are all thinking the same and have the same type of ideas, the same type of concept, and you're trying to get, to similar places, right? So that's some of the things that I believe that you have to have before you can go and take down $10-20 million. Okay, because what you really need is once you have equity, right, you need to deploy some of that equity, right, and make sure that you can take $1, you take $1 and deploy it in 3 different places, or you take the equity off of an investment that you've earned, just like a house or something like that, right? Or an apartment, right? And you deploy money, right? You borrow against it, and you deploy that money in 3 different investment vehicles, okay? Ones that you have a very high level of confidence of success in, right? Or you can just go buy another house. You can go buy tax lien houses and so forth, right? Or you can go and buy houses where the subdivision is they just start clearing the land and they're getting ready to build, 20, 30 houses. And you just get in when the houses are first being built. And when that subdivision is done, right, you should be 50,000 or something like that to the upside, considering the fact that you have a down payment and you live there maybe for a year or two, and then you turn around and sell it, or you can just keep it as a rental. Okay, so but what you want is you want to acquire enough resources, right, or enough assets to where the equity off of those assets, or the interest that you're drawing off of some of those assets, pays you $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. Okay, and stocks and crypto, bonds and things like that, right? That's a very good example of that. Rental houses is a very good example of that. I personally know people, I got them on speed dial. They got 20, 30, 40, 50 houses, 100 houses. These are people that's from the community that I grew up in, right? And there are some very interesting ways that I'll probably talk about in a later video that shows you how to acquire 5, 10, 15, 20 houses. Okay, so that's it for now, and I'll be back at you and we'll talk some more about money.